got 2 more hands.
Sorry, man. Like, don't take 14 minutes in hand. Like,
oh, it just keeps you keep adding 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Next thing was a whole.
Yeah, it was the entire level. Literally, we're
I don't
taking.
care. I'm not angry. He's mad with you.
Even for the most common people, emotions run high when money, especially huge money, is involved. What do you think happens when gamblers sit around a table with high stakes and even higher temperaments? Complete and utter chaos. Angry outbursts and/or complete meltdowns do not come as a surprise. This is what it looks like.
Because you're not angry, but you're calling me a clown and saying the F word and everything.
I'm not angry because you are a clown. It was a joke that you called time. You're mad because I got you with trip aces. Now you want to like.
While poker is a game of skill and strategy, it occasionally sees heightened emotions and disputes at the table, just like this. One of the most recognizable poker players on the tour, Phil Hellmuth, also known as the Poker Brat, has produced some of the most explosive rants in the game after losing a hand.
How do these players even last this long?
Don't know.
I mean, it's just so sick.
Despite being regarded as one of the best readers of the game, Hellmuth has at times been caught off guard by his opponent. Hellmuth doesn't care whether you're an amateur or a professional poker player. If you beat him, you're more than likely to be on the receiving end of one of Phil's foul-mouthed rants. At one instance, after taking a peek at his hand, he started mumbling to himself.
Oh no, I'm gonna do something here. This hand wasn't very good for me yesterday, though.
Let's think positive thoughts, my poker king.
Raised to 15,000.
Maybe today's a different day.
But then he settled to silence as the game went on.
Georgia.
The flop with these guys heads up, 9-6 jack. Pair of eights are still best for Hellmuth. Levy with an up and down straight draw.
Not the best flop for Phil to see, but he bets it.
20,000. Levy with the draw.
Yeah, why wouldn't he stick around with that straight draw?
I'll call. All right, so now the turn card. Turns an 8 of diamonds. Levy hits a straight, and that also gives Hellmuth a set.
Phil checked, apparently not realizing the trouble he was in. But then this happened.
A deuce on the river. Levy earns the check mark. He's got the straight.
It's a blank on the river, and Hellmuth's got to like his hand. Unfortunately for Phil, Adam Levy's got the nuts.
60,000 from Phil Hellmuth.
Phil value bets it.
And so, Phil started taunting Levy. And once he stood up,
I'm not tricky enough to play Queen 10 this good, am I?
Levy's the one with the Queen 10.
Raise.
Levy announces raise up to 155,000.
That raise freezes Phil momentarily. Let's see if he comes back over the top with his set.
Phil just with a call.
Queen 10.
Yeah, Levy with a Queen 10 and the win.
Called a race with a 10 of clubs. He called a race with Queen 10, honey.
his mouth never stopped blabbering away as well.
I had a set. He's supposed to bust me anyway. Called a race with a Queen 10. You're not a player.
I think he's from Florida or someplace stupid.
Called a race with Queen 10. Idiot player.
He even stepped away from the table, but still continued with his seemingly endless verbal diarrhea.
He called a race with Queen 10. How do these players, how are they even still in this tournament?
They let him in every day.
And I have a set.
I know you had a set, Puddin'.
It's just unbelievable. This kid probably won't last another hour.
Half hour tops.
I promise. Watch. He called a race with a queen and a 10.
A queen and a 10.
How do these players even...
Was he done? Of course not.
So sick. They have no concept of
None.
poker.
It was an aggressive call.
Aggressive call? Idiot. Frickin' gave me a freaking... Nice deal in there. Mighty fine, buddy. Mighty fine. You haven't won a pot one time. They've been just...
Now it seems the object of his tirade has shifted, although it was misguided, really.
Hey,
Actually, this is a new dealer.
you give me a set.
I just sat down, though.
Unbelievable.
I am exhausted, Lon.
Idiot players call races with Queen 10. They don't even know how to spell poker. I mean, like, this kid has all the chips. He probably won't even make the final 200.
He was being so loud about it that others at the table started to chip in as well.
Irate?
You showed a raise with Jack 4. What do you think the guy's gonna do? Not call you?
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Buddy, you moved in with King 10, so please don't discuss poker with me.
Poker brat rant.
In a heated argument, Phil Hellmuth called Christian Dragomir, idiot from Northern Europe.
Idiot from Northern Europe. Mother guy. Freaking idiots. God, they play so bad.
followed by, "To you it's poker man, to me this is my life." Fortunately, the situation was eventually defused, but not without leaving a lasting impression on the poker world. Then there's Sean Shaycon at the 2005 World Series of Poker. There, he engaged in a widely publicized verbal clash with fellow player The Mouth Matuso.
What happened?
You didn't hear what he just said? We're in the middle of a hand. He's talking about what he has in his hand to everybody. I'm asking a question, Jeff.
The source of this confrontation was Sean's impulsive reaction when a flop was revealed in the hand he wasn't even participating in. He slammed the table in frustration, inadvertently giving away the strength of his hand. This led to both Matuso and Shaycon receiving penalties. Matuso responded by swearing at him after Sean's outburst. "You know, we're in a hand. You need to shut the fuck up."
You know, we're in a hand. You need to shut the up.
Uh-oh. What did you say, Mike? Mike. What did you say, Mike? Did you say something? I got it. Did you say something, Mike?
Notably, Mike Matuso and Sean Shaycon were the biggest of rivals at the 2005 World Series of Poker, leading to some epic clashes, verbal altercations, and the ultimate demise of one of them before the final table. Even poor Jack was dragged into it.
I'm asking a question, Jack. Did you hear what he just said to me?
No, I did not.
Right or wrong?
What was just said? He said, I'm in the middle of the hand, you need to shut the up.
Frankly, even before Mike's blow-up, the tension between the two was already palpable.
Mattisau and the Sheik, not kindred spirits.
You calling fat raise, Mike?
No, I'm just gonna.
These guys are like,
Not long after that,
there's only about 275,000 chips left, and he will get out of the hand. So Mattisau and Kessler now. Kessler, an amateur player from Virginia, in his first World Series. Now the flop is 9-8 ace. Oh, Sheik's not happy.
Oh, he pounds the table. That's inappropriate. He's indicating that he would have gotten part of that flop. That's giving information to the other players you should not give.
You know, we're in a hand.
and that's when Sean blew up, as if he was the wounded party, when in fact he instigated the commotion. And so he was firmly told.
We're going to play the remainder of this hand, and I'm going to explain to you what's going to happen here.
So we'll all have to wait for Jack Effel's decision.
I feel sorry for Michael Kessler in between these two.
Now Kessler's focused enough to throw a raise at Mattisau.
I'm all in.
And Mattisau comes over the top, enough to put Kessler all in.
That's a good bet. You win.
And Kessler gets out of the way. I don't want any part of this. So Mattisau.
With that out of the way, Mattisau and Shaycon carried on with the argument.
Idiot. You cannot talk about a hand in between a hand. We're playing for a lot of money. You jumped off your chair like you threw away part of the pot.
Guys, listen. Mike, we're not going to start the tournament out this way. And first of all, when the flop came, you slammed the table.
Sure
then both of you guys got into it. So guess what? Right now, both of you guys are on a 10-minute penalty. Away from the table. Both of you guys on the rail for 10 minutes.
If that isn't a meltdown, who knows what is? Even after the timeout, though, the two remained to be at each other's throats.
A fan up in here. I'll give him a couple percent.
Don't worry, you ain't gonna be here much longer.
Geez, the mouth should travel with this crowd.
Well, this personality contest here at Binion's. Mattisau's winning hands down against Shaycon.
When Shaycon chose to shut up, Mattisau poked fun at him.
You want action?
Here we go. Shaycon leads with his ace-jack to Mattisau's king-queen. This is our degree all-in moment.
And the mouth is disappointed when he sees what it is. He was hoping that the Sheik maybe had a pocket pair and it'd be a coin flip, but he does have 2 live cards against his rival, and he is just aching to knock him.
But then,
Shaycon earns the degree check mark with the straight. Doubles up again.
You got what you asked for, baby boy. What happened there? You got what you deserve, s***er.
Boy, the mouth is dry for once.
Prahlad Friedman's confrontation with Jeff Lissandro in the 2006 World Series of Poker main event is legendary in poker lore. There were heavy tensions between Lissandro and Friedman. The argument began with Friedman alleging that Lissandro didn't put in his obligated 5,000 ante in a hand seen at the feature table in the late stages of the tournament. Friedman continues to press the issue for several hands afterward, escalating in a floor manager having to separate the two players. Lissandro famously threatened, "I'll take your head off," to Friedman, with things eventually settling back down. This poker fight became known under the name Ante Gate, since Friedman claimed Lisandro didn't put his ante. The pot was short an ante, which is nothing abnormal, especially in Hold'em tournaments, as Hold'em generally has no ante. Some guy usually says, "It was probably me," and throws in the missing ante. Problem solved. At least most of the time it would have been solved. This particular time, Prahlad decided to tell the gentleman who anted that he was already up, and it was in fact Jeff who wasn't up.
I saw him throw the ante in. He says he did. You know, I don't necessarily believe him, so I mean.
Jeff asked Prahlad if he was 100% sure that it was him, and Prahlad kept insisting that it was. No one seemed to have a problem but Prahlad, who just wouldn't let it go.
So if he threw the ante out, he just gets robbed because he's more bold and says that.
Are you 1,000%?
I'm not 1,000%. I saw him throw it in.
If I knew for sure, you think I'm going to rob him for 5,000? You idiot.
It doesn't matter.
You're having like an idiot.
I'm acting like an idiot, all right?
You didn't even see it.
I don't trust you, sir, okay? I don't trust you.
Anyone who heard this would be offended, and Lisandro is no exception.
I don't like your conversation, man.
Did you hear me? Stop.
Prahlad Friedman and Jeffrey Lisandro still steaming about missing ante-gate.
Dude, I saw him throw it in. I'm not.
Could you guys please do me a favor and let it go?
I'll let it go. It's done. But I don't like robbing.
Well, that's understandable.
No, that's a terrible thing to say. Robbing. My God.
In Prahlad's defense, I'm sure he thinks Dustin Holmes anteed, but he used inappropriate language about Lisandro.
Come on, man. I've been in poker long enough, man. I know how it is.
Yeah. You guys both please let it go.
Are you going to stop? Are you going to stop playing poker long enough?
John?
He must have accused Jeff of shorting the pot 50 times before a floorman was finally called over to intercede in what was becoming a full-blown international incident. The floorman ordered the issue closed and left, but Prahlad still kept going on and on. He went as far as telling Jeff, "I don't trust you, sir." Those are pretty strong words to say to a professional gambler. Jeff is a well-known player in the higher limit games around the world, especially in Los Angeles and Vegas. He sometimes even finds his way into the big game in Bobby's room. When Prahlad just refused to stop, the floorman was once again called over to put an end to this nonsense. Prahlad ranted and raved as the players stepped away from the table to discuss the issue. Jeff asked over and over, "Are you going to stop?" This didn't even slow the verbal barrage. At this point, Prahlad stepped away, but he didn't stop yapping, though.
Prahlad has gone away from the table to talk to the floorman.
Ever. They probably have it on film somewhere. All right.
If you keep aggravating,
Oh, here comes Lisandro.
No, this is
I'll take
being
his
settled.
down.
This is
It's
being
not even
settled.
his. It's not even his
This-
$5,000 chip. It's not even his chip.
I saw him
Called me
throw
a
it
thief
in.
3
I
times.
saw
You
him
piece
throw
of.
it.
Come on. That's what I said.
I'll take your head off.
Finally, Jeff said to Prahlad, "If you say it one more time, I'm going to take your head off." To which Prahlad responded with,
Hey, deal
Last time I want to hear it.
Please don't threaten me in front of everyone.
Last time I want to
He
hear
said
it.
you'll knock
Don't
my
worry
teeth
about
out.
threatening it, buddy.
We're going to keep this.
Did you hear
We're
what
done.
he said? He said he'll knock my...
At this, announcer Norman Chad said, "First, Prahlad was out of line. Now, Jeff is out of line." Prahlad Friedman kept pushing and accusing Lisandro of having robbed the other man. Jeff Lisandro was absolutely flipping about those accusations and threatened Friedman by shouting, "I'll take your head off, buddy." Was that the end of it? Definitely not.
I'm not being called a thief anymore.
I understand.
You take him off if he says it again.
There will be a penalty, and it'll depend on who says it. If you guys
I'm not
stop-
saying another word, but if he says it one more time,
Okay, you're not saying another word.
Okay.
You're saying another word. You don't- and the same
that's
with
it.
you.
It better be done.
The game went on, and they were both quiet for a while until...
Can I ask you a question?
No, mate. Just don't talk to me.
No.
Don't ask me anything.
Oh, I wasn't
Don't
gonna
talk
say
to me.
anything
Just
mean or nothing.
play your game.
Okay. I was just going to ask you.
We'll get along fine. Don't
I wasn't
talk
even
to
going
me.
to bring it up.
Just drop it.
Okay.
Don't talk to me. That's it.
No problem.
Although he was fairly calm when he said,
You got to understand what you said was really bad. Do you think people are stealing $5,000 ante chips?
I told you I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, but you said it 3 times. I mean, I like to forgive you, but
It's like a cold sore. It tends to fester.
"If you think that's intense, you've got another thing coming." Another insane clash in poker history was between Tony G and Ralph Perry in 2006. Well, clash may be too strong a word since it was Tony G, as always, who yapped non-stop. Antanas Guoga, better known as Tony G, became irate at Ralph Perry during the 2006 Intercontinental Poker Championships and engaged in what can only be described as verbal warfare against Perry, telling him that he was not a good player. Tony's behavior was a little over the top. In fact, he was the only one running his mouth.
Poker is such a great hand.
I want to play with him. I got a weak hand though. I'm still calling if you raise, unless you go all in. I might still call if you go all in. How much have you got? How much more? 80 more? I'm calling. How much more do you want to make it? Just tell me. Can you put the clock?
And it gets worse.
All in. All in. You wanna do this? Do this properly. Yeah. What do you think I am? I'm here to give my chips away to you.
He's no joke, Perry. He did get third in the World Series main event in 2002.
Wow. You play very well. You play very, very well.
Perry was not the only player to suffer from the now legendary Tony G trash talk, although in future tournaments, Tony G toned down his barrage slightly, adding humor to the mix.
Love when he brings
You're a champion. Send you back to Russia.
Tony G was clearly drunk and fired one shot after another on Perry, including such legendary quotes as, "You are a champion, sending you back to Russia. Bring the Russians on."
Ace deuce against King Jack. He's drawing semi-dead on the flop. Putting all his money in with King Jack calling. This is not someone to learn from.
His head down. Look at the other guy, Sammy Farr.
7 from heaven. Pair the board, baby.
He loves it.
Teach him a good lesson here.
He also quipped, "You played that as bad as you can. Your career is finished."
Baby, come on, Russian, get out. You are gone. Gone. Gone.
At one point, he even stood up and...
Yeah. Look at this. Look how he's doing. Look how he's playing. Look how ugly this is. You're a professional player and I can do this to you. You're a terrible player. This is disgraceful. Bring the Russians on. Bring more Russians on.
Tony G's had just started.
I'm here to get them all. You play that as bad as you can. Your career is finished.
Those are some intense moments, wouldn't you say? If you would like to see more insane poker moments, click here.